Okay. Okay. So I'll go out to WhatsApp. I'll see you there. See you. Bye. Bye. Mm. I don't. Hello, hello.
Hi, Anella.
Hi, Neringa. How are you?
I'm actually today a little bit tired, but everything else is well. We have a beautiful weather in Tenerife, so I was thinking I really can't complain about about
Um,
other things, what's happening in my life.
that's good. But what about stress? Now, when we are going towards Christmas, do you get stress of going on to Christmas, or do you just relax and say, I have bought all my Christmas presents so I can relax and
Well, I think our life would say like I don't get stressed out like everybody else. I think you get into this circle. And when you're so busy preparing gifts, making plans, meeting family and friends, who's gonna go where and what's happening, it's you get into this, like you forget everything. You forget even to, you stop breathing, and you just start, whether you want it or not, unconsciously. Yes, I do get stressed out, and today I stressed out a little bit, if honestly, about work. But the thing was that I always speak about mindfulness, and I caught myself stressing out.
Oh,
So I think it's a very positive thing when you catch yourself stressing out, you already can handle that better, isn't it?
yeah. But it's so difficult when you are in the stress moment here and now. I
Yes.
think because I have the tools, but when I'm stressed, I forget the tools. And one of the thing that I have, I do in my wallet, I have a small note with some things that I can do when I get stressed or anxiety or anything. And I need to have them in my wallet because when I'm in the situation, I forget the tools, so I can go down in my wallet and take the little note up, and it's, for example, says take 3 deep breaths, and under
Okay.
there, there's it will calm you down. So I know why I'm doing it, and then I can, you know, and if it's a little bit worse, I have another one and another one for every level of stress and anxiety I have.
You know, I really like it. I want to do something like that. Something that reminds you. Yes, you said you have a little card. I think it's really, really good idea for also our viewers and listeners to think about, to put something down on a card and always carry with them. Yes,
Yeah,
because even picking up the card, it's already taking you back to here and now. Yes.
yeah, exactly.
Plus reading, it's already giving you, you remind yourself, and then like, oh, what can I do about it? So I
Yeah.
think it's just really good idea, and I would like to create something for myself like that.
Yeah. And you don't need to have a bunch, only 2, 3 of them, and you can write on both sides of the page. But as you said, when you're looking for the note, you are already being distracted from the stress or anxiety or whatever it is. So sometimes I don't even need the cards because I've been distracted by looking for them. And then oh, wow, yeah.
What
So,
do you think? What else works for you? For me, I definitely use breathing.
yeah,
It's one of the best tools that I find out that works for me personally. But what I also noticed, what works for me, that when I am stressed out, I start moving. When I say moving, it can be just a like simple thing, like shake it off, like just shake it off, just move your shoulders, because where we feel a stress, a lot of times people, you stress out. When you stressed out, of course, one of the signs can be you have a pain in the heart area, which a lot of people think that that a heart hurts, which is really just a stress,
oh,
isn't
yeah,
it? But just moving a little bit, just
yeah,
just moving around, just leaving the work table and walking, taking short walk, or going to the balcony, or if you're outside, going to the garden, like just something, just move out of that constriction, that being somewhere in the mind that doesn't feel good.
yeah, exactly. And you, when you are sitting, for example, on all day long at the computer or anything else, you will get some tension in your shoulders and your neck. So moving around is a very good idea. And also to yeah, just get up for a few moments, walk around your chair and sit down again. That will, I think, helps me. So we, you know, everyone who has a smartwatch, they can put it into a mindfulness, so it will come up and say, now it's time for mindfulness. But it also can do, now it's time for move. And for my example, I have it set on to move every hour. Then it will beep and I will go, yeah, just stand up and sit down again. Then I have moved a little. So you have to be reminded of it, because you forget, because you are so concentrating on what you are doing. So you forget about yourself and you say, oh, just 5 more minutes, 5 more minutes. And then you get more tense and yeah.
So you're right, and something to do that your mind would learn like positive things, because we learn negative things very easily. Yes.
Oh, yes.
Since we're little kids, by observation, we learn a lot of negative things, how we think, how we feel, how we act. So I think all those tools, like you even saying, just a watch and there's some kind of reminder or something positive, like positive quote, for example, pops up on your phone or
Yeah.
something like that. I think it's very good. Um, because we were speaking about holidays, yes.
Yeah.
Uh, do you think we can avoid stress?
Yeah, I think we could if we would. And because it's up to us to don't stress. For example,
Mhm.
I have a friend and she have already in January she are buying the Christmas present for next for the coming year. And so she doesn't stress around for Christmas present. She relax and take slowly. So I think we can do it because it's how we structure our day and our life. And you are using mindfulness a lot. So I think you can, when you use mindfulness, you can absorb to be here and now in the present. But the surroundings are pushing us to do this, and you have to be there, you have to be there. And especially if you have kids, you need to go to the school because there's a Christmas concert, there's a Christmas something, and so that will stress you. And if you just try to relax, I know that's so difficult, because when I have my kids, I have 4 kids. Now they are adults. But when they were little, it was stressful because we have to do so many things. And I would have loved to know about more about mindfulness. So that brings me to what kind of, yeah, mindfulness uh, practice are you doing when you are breathing, or have you other uh, exercise you do?
Well, yes, besides the ones that you mentioned, I think it's very important to practice just having awareness, practice awareness. What I'm saying, it's what I just spoke not too long. It's just about catching yourself starting stressing out, or catching yourself when you're already stressed out. So when you're aware of that, that's where you can stop the stress from progressing, isn't it? Because what can you do? You actually, like we spoke, you can move, You can shake it off. You can breathe it out. You can talk to somebody. You can call your friend and tell your frustrations, isn't it? So it's about just being aware what's happening with you. And a lot of times, what I notice, we people live on an autopilot, means we just running throughout the day, yes, without being aware what's happening. I mean, we know what's happening, but we don't look what's happening with my mind, with my emotions. Oh, I'm too stressed out. Let's stop and breathe, yeah, for a couple of seconds. And what I like that you spoke about, especially holiday season, you spoke about two things. One thing is pre-planning. It's holidays are coming, and if you have a plan and you talk to your family and everything is planned, isn't it? Of course plans can change, yes. That's another thing, but if you pre-plan things, I think they will go smoother, yes. When you said you structured your day, especially in the busy holiday season, you structure your day, your hour. Okay, that's when we're gonna go look for holiday presents, isn't it? And like your friend, to me it sounds so good. And maybe you don't have to buy like year in advance, but when you see something beautiful and you know, oh, this present could be good for Christmas for this person in my family, you buy it and you have it. So when Christmas comes, you already don't have to spend all that money. That money, one of the biggest stresses in life overall, especially on the holiday season. And another thing I think is very important with the stress, to learn to adapt. When you see, when you have a lot of kids or you have a big family and things change, somebody gets sick and everything, whatever it is, I think it's very important to learn to adapt to, so you change. Yeah, if something needs to be changed, you change and you're okay with that. Because for people that they don't want to adapt, and a lot of us, we don't like changes. I've been one of those people that I was against changes. I didn't want it ever anything to change. For me it was terrifying to be in unknown. That's why I was stuck in that circle, never getting anywhere, never learning new things, never trying. So I think, yes, very, very important just to really to adapt and accept those changes and just move on as faster you move on. Yes, when change comes, I say, yes, I'm stressed out, but let's do this, let's do that. And it's like, and just keep moving, yes, keep progressing. So whether it's a holiday season or not.
But don't you think it? I totally agreed with you. But don't you think it's also a good thing to know what triggers your stress?
Yes. Definitely, because we all different, but we all have, yes, we all have a different routines or some kind of work, or or not really good relationship. So yes, knowing your stressors are very important. So why? So maybe, just maybe sometimes, depending on situation, maybe we can even avoid them, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that because when I got stressed, I can't remember names. So when I talk to people and I suddenly can't remember names or certain words, I began to think inside, hey, what's wrong here? Oh, I start to be stressed. Now I have to go slower. I have to step aside so I can relax and find out, why am I stressed now? What is it that stressed me? Because I have the trigger or the stressors that tells me that I'm starting to be stressed. So when I do that, I can avoid being totally stressed, so I can just relax and be more calm. But it's difficult to find out uh, because, as you say, we are different, and stressors and triggers are different from person to person. So, and some people can have more stress than others can. So there's also, the different levels of stress in the holidays, especially on Christmas holidays, because there's so many expectation, I think.
Do you think, I like what you mentioned, expectations. Yes. I've noticed a lot of people, and sometimes there is people get stressed out a lot about their finances. Yes. And I think when people make a mistakes, yes, there is a lot of expectations, but we have to think how much we should spend. Yes.
Yeah.
Not think about other people's expectations and how to please them and everything, but what can I afford when it comes to presents, for example.
Yeah.
Yes, because I don't believe present has to be very expensive. It can be something really, really beautiful, just a book, just
Yeah.
a simple book that could change somebody's life. Yes, if yes. So I think what people do also, they putting stress over their stress. And what I mean, when you knowingly stressed out that you don't have money, but you're still buying those expensive gifts, and holidays pass, yes. And a lot of times gifts, we enjoy our new watch for, I don't know, maybe for a week or something. Yes,
Mm.
then we used to and we stop. And look at that, uh, when people do like buy on credit cards. Yes, on the holiday season, a lot of people use credit cards and really sometimes max them out. So even after holidays, you are still gonna feel and have the stress because you put yourself into it.
Yeah.
So maybe another thing it's good to remember not to put yourself into a situation that would cause the stress. And that's one way to avoid it. Consciously not putting yourself in there, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah. And that's so difficult because maybe you say to yourself, I will not go that way or in that situation, but the circumstances or your family is pulling you in, or pushing you out into the situation that you have no control over. So yeah, it can be very difficult to find the balance in not being stressed, and being a little bit stressed, because it's okay to be a little bit stressed. It's make us into the mood of flying, or fighting if something is wrong. But what we are talking about, I think, it's the damaging stress, um, that can go out on your health, because nobody tells you anything about it, because that's wrong said. What I would want to say was, many people are using the word stress in a context that there's no stress, but it's just because they have a busy day. But the word stress go into the daily life and be a common word.
Yes, and these days, like you said, it's very hard not to be stressed out. Yes, it's possible if you are start like managing it. Yes, and just your body, if you don't manage it right, your body will let you know, yeah, with aches and pains and exhaustion and lack of sleep, because that's what exactly happens to us when our bodies, our minds are when we are stressed out.
Yeah. And if you don't listen to your body, you can end very badly, and you can end up dying if you don't listen to the sign your body is telling you, for now you are stressed or whatever it is, because it's the little things. It can be a little tick with the eyes you don't normally have, that you're starting, and then, oh, why am I going to have that? Is it something that could, maybe because I'm stressed, my eye does that? So it can be so many different things. And when I got stressed, I I know about stress. I know I could get headaches and all that, but I never in my mind thought that it could take my you know so I got paralyzed because I overheard the signs, because I was so used to be in my body in that stress level, and my family also know me in that level, so they didn't see the signs either. And that's important, I think, that not for ourselves, but also if our family and persons around us can see if we make some changes that's not usual for us. So maybe they can say it, oh, I you can't remember my name, for example. My husband said, so now you got stressed, and I can say, no, I'm not stressed, because blah, 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 he shouldn't tell me that I'm stressed. But in my mind, I think, oh, he's right. I did forget his name. So I need to take a step back and slow down. And I think we are forgetting to tell our surroundings, our family, that we have such issues, so we can take care of each other in that way, that we can be more aware of what we are doing, because the way I'm acting can stress my family. And then we have the bad circle of stressing each other. I don't know.
Thank you so much for sharing for that, because I see that stress like really affected you physically,
Yeah.
and and I see that right now you're healthier, so it tells me that you're handling well. You went through whatever happened, yes, but you were able to come out of it, which is very, very positive, that
Yeah.
you were able to overcome come out of it. And that's why I mentioned to share, very important, especially in the family, to share. If you're stressed out, to share. But when I say to share about it, it's not in the necessarily complaining way, because we know what happens when we start complaining. Other people might shut down and they might stop listening to us.
Yeah.
But preparing themselves to defend themselves, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I think it's very, very important to speak, like, just say, I'm so stressed out today. I don't know what to do. Maybe you can help me figure out, asking for help,
Yeah.
and be honest and not hiding it from it. You don't have to be strong for everybody. Some days we're going to be very strong and happy and healthy and confident. Some days we're going to be so down that we really, really need somebody to hear us. And that's where family comes and friends come. And if you cannot handle anymore and it's it's not working, I think it's very important to also address that and find a therapist to talk to
Oh, yeah.
about the stress. Because if you don't want to get sick, and when body cannot handle stress anymore, there's something happens. For me, my stress and inability to speak about it, um, it went really drastically to having panic attacks, as I mentioned before in one
Yeah.
of our talks. Uh, so for people, I think for our listeners and viewers, it's very, very important to understand that stress management is a must. Yes,
Yeah.
knowing when you're too stressed out, catching yourself, being aware and mindfully using the tools and all this stuff. Um, because in this world, with our busy lives, it's very hard not to stress out.
Oh, yes.
Every
Yeah.
little thing throughout the day can stress you out, from traffic to standing in line, isn't it? To standing in line in the store.
Oh, yeah. Mostly in the traffic. I think that stressed me out sometimes. But you are totally right, and I so agreed what you are saying, that sharing is it, and do it in a positive way, because we don't need any more stress. And if we are saying it in a polite way and a positive way, we don't complain, and people don't want people to complain, and they don't want us to, the story about Peter and the wolf. Don't you know that story?
I'm not sure if I do.
No, it's about a boy whose name is Peter, and he's living with his grandfather in a house in the woods, and he cries every then and then, "Oh, there's a wolf, there's a wolf," and the grandfather take his gun and go out to find the wolf, and there's nobody. And it's continued day after day, and one day Peter is out, and there's a wolf, and he's crying, "The wolf is here." And grandmother said, "Yeah, but you said that yesterday and yesterday before, and I don't believe you anymore." So, and then he could hear Peter was screaming and crying in another way, so he ran out, and he said, "If you hadn't screamed wolf all the time, I would have come faster, because then I would have believed you, but now I don't believe you." I don't think I tell you the right way, but so if we always complain and said, "Oh, I'm so stressed and then we be a nagging gnome that nobody likes to help.
And you know what comes to my mind about this? So Peter or other people like Peter's, yes,
Yeah.
they do not handle their stress. They do not work on it. Because if you use a tool, take one favorite tool, and if you keep using, more you use it, easier it gets to, first of all, be aware that you're stressing out already and using tool to help yourself. So those people seem like they're not even trying to use the tools or learn what stress is or anything. They just get stuck in this complaining circle, which also it doesn't take you anywhere, and it doesn't help other people around you, because you can also stress out other people when you are stressed.
Yes.
So that's, I think, very, very important. Yes,
It's
find your
exactly.
tools
And
and use it.
I also think that people who is like Peter is just because they want attention. And it's better to have a negative attention than a positive, and no one at all. So Peter is just crying for, yeah, to be seen and recognized, but it stressed the grandfather and all the other people out and say, oh my goodness, let's relax and yeah.
Yes. So it is okay. So it brings that, even on the holiday season, you have to understand you're not the one and only that's might be stressed out in the family, isn't it? So
Yeah.
it's like also not only help yourself, but maybe by knowing, about stress and being aware and seeing in others, yes, you can also help other people
Yeah.
to not stress out or stress out less or get over the stress sooner, faster. Yes.
Yeah. So a good advice in the holiday season for Christmas, you can just sit back in your chair, take a story to read to your children, have a hot cocoa and relax instead of jumping around doing anything else, because children also need to just sit down and relax. And why not do it together instead of doing on the iPad or on the computer or the phone? Just sit and be close and have some mindfulness together. I think that would be so nice if we could get more of that into the world and into the families.
That sounds very, very good what you just said, Anella.
I thought so. No. No. Sometimes
Brilliant.
I can be a little wise. Yeah.
Well,
When it comes to other people, not to myself.
we know though that you a lot of times are wise, and we're taking your advices and we're loving it.
No, no, you are coming with good advice, and you make me think about stuff that I normally wouldn't think on that way. I would. It's a new way to think about mindfulness, and that even if that I am a mindfulness instructor, so yeah, when we are sharing it, it become more uh, obvious to do it. So yeah,
So that's why having conversations, it's very important. And actually, to viewers, what I want to say, that's why we created this podcast with Anella, because just by sharing our own experiences or just having a little bit knowledge over something, we just really, really hope that it would be helpful.
yeah, and
It
I
could be
think.
a learning tool.
Yeah. And I think our viewers should go into your website and read more about what you are doing. Can't you share your website address with our
Yes,
viewers?
yes, of course. So let's do this, under the video or above the video. Uh, People can find your and my information if they would like to contact or learn things or ask some questions. Not only because we're on Facebook and we're on YouTube right now, but if they want to reach out us personally, so they have this easy access to us.
Exactly. And I think next time we have to do a proper introduction of what you and I are doing and what we can do for our viewers, because it's not just sitting here talking, but we can do much more when we are talking to them in person or on phone or online. Um, and I can would, if I can have the time for it, I will put audio of hypnosis with the relaxation for our viewers on the videos. They can download a teaser so they can see what it is.
I think it's really a good idea, and I say let's just do it.
Super. And I think also you can, if you have a mindfulness exercise, we can put it on also. So it's not just word that we are saying, but they can actually get something out of it.
I agree.
Yeah.
Start practicing, people.
Get it on and be ready for Christmas and have a nice Christmas.
Thank you so much, Anella, for being here today. I really appreciate it.
And thank you for you, Neringa. It was so pleasant to talk to you. You have so much knowledge that I want to learn more about. So have a nice evening and we will talk soon next
Yes,
week. Or
definitely.
yeah,
Yes.
good. Bye.
Bye bye.